Hello, I'm Nick Matt, and I'd like to welcome you to the FX Matt Brewing Company. We'd like to thank you for coming to visit us today. We're delighted that you're here. We're proud to show you our brewery, now operating in its third century. Let me show you around. We've had a tradition of brewing distinctive beers for 4 generations. Today, our brewery is best known for the Saranac brand, but historically, we've also had some other brands that you may have heard of. The original products of our brewery were under the West End trademark, which was the brewery name. Utica Club was introduced as a trademark during Prohibition, and it was first used on soft drinks. During Prohibition, our brewery made soft drinks, as well as malt tonic and malt syrup, just to stay in business. After Prohibition, the Utica Club name was used to reintroduce beer. From Prohibition until the 1960s, Utica Club became a regional favorite, and the brand grew to nearly 6 million cases. First available only on draft, Matt's Premium grew to be this company's largest brand by the 1980s. In 1985, our brewery introduced Saranac Adirondack Amber, which was the first of the specialty products that today our brewery is famous for. I always find it interesting, however, to look back on our history and realize that we have always been specialty brewers. Even in the early Utica Club days, Brown Stout, India Pale Ale, Porter, Stock Ale, and Pale Cream Ale were a part of our line. So I'm not just saying it when I say we have been brewing distinctive beers for 4 generations. The brewery was started by my grandfather, FX Matt, and is named in his honor. In 1888, he actually founded the brewery, which makes our family-owned brewery 113 years old this year. A man of strong convictions as well as strong constitution, he remained active in the business until his death at the age of 99. My grandfather learned the art of brewing at the famous Duke of Baden brewery in the Black Forest region of Germany, where he was born and raised. The standards of quality he learned in the old country over a century ago are still being carried out today at our brewery. The brewery was run by the second generation of our family during the 50s, 60s, and 70s, during which time brands such as Utica Club and Matt's Premium were our most popular products. It was during this period that Schultz and Dooley became famous as advertising spokesmugs for Utica Club. My brother FX, named for his grandfather, followed in the tradition of his grandfather and father ahead of him. FX had extensive brewing knowledge and was the father of the original Saranac beer, which was appropriately inspired by a visit to his grandfather's homeland as he observed the character and balance of the local German beers. Today, the company is headed by the 3rd and 4th generations of the Matt family, Fred, FX's son, and me. The focus of our brewery is on making the highest quality handcrafted beers. In each of our Saranac beers, we strive for complexity and balance, so they are both full-flavored and drinkable. We do this through a unique combination of malts and hops. Each of our different Saranac products has a unique malt and hop recipe used to give it a distinctive taste profile. Saranac Adirondack Amber, for example, uses 2 different malts, 2-row barley malt and caramel malt, and 4 different types of hops, 2 of the Hallertau variety, 1 imported and 1 domestic, and 2 Cascade hops. Saranac Traditional Lager, however, uses 2-row barley malt and wheat malt to give it a light, refreshing taste. Our black and tan products tops our list with 7 different types of hops balanced with 7 different types of malts, giving it a complexity of flavor like no other beer. We believe this complexity and balance is what makes our Saranac products so unique. There are 6 Saranac products we market on a year-round basis: Saranac Pilsner, Saranac Traditional Lager, Saranac Adirondack Amber, Saranac Pale Ale, Saranac Black Forest, and Saranac Black and Tan. And you can purchase these also in the Saranac Trail Mix. a unique variety package. Another growing area of our business is our line of Saranac specialty soft drinks, led by Saranac Root Beer, which is a rich, creamy, old-fashioned root beer that is oh so delicious. It has tastes of sassafras, licorice, and molasses all blended into a rich, old-fashioned root beer. You just have to taste to believe. We also have a diet root beer that uses aspartame and a touch of sugar to give it a taste like no other diet root beer you've ever tasted. And this year, we're introducing Saranac Orange Cream. If you like creamsicles, a taste of orange and cream, you'll love Saranac Orange Cream. Another specialty product of our brewery is Jed's Hard Lemonade. Introduced a couple of years ago, Jed's Hard Lemonade is a unique alcoholic lemonade. We make a clear malt alcohol and then mix it with a delicious lemonade for a refreshing drink that you'll love, especially on hot days. Here we are in our traditional brew house, which was completed after World War II. These are the original copper kettles. This is the third floor of a 7-story brew house. It was originally built after World War II. We've made a number of improvements since then to automate the process, put a control panel in, and update some of the equipment like the filter press. The copper brew kettles, however, are still the original ones. Each of these copper brew kettles hold more than 500 barrels of brew, or about 6,500 cases. These kettles are like giant percolators and can be brought to a boil in 15 minutes after they're filled. If you look over to the right, you'll see a large stainless steel cylindrical cooker. This is referred to as a mash cooker. This mash cooker is where the whole process starts. It's here we add water and malt and cook it through a series of temperature steps to make what is called the mash. This mash is a sweet, almost porridge-like liquid. It is then run through the mash filter, that accordion-shaped piece of equipment to our right. In this filter, the grain is separated from the sweet liquid of the mash. That sweet liquid, which is now called wort, goes to the brew kettle, and the grain is sold to farmers as cattle feed. If you've wondered why all the cows around here are smiling, maybe that's why. This sweet liquid is then transferred to the brew kettle, where the hops are added, and it is boiled. The whole process in the brew house, from cookers, mash filter, to the brew kettle, takes about 10 hours. Then it's on to the cellars, where we add yeast and fermentation starts. This is one of our many fermenting cellars. It's in these large tanks that the fermenting process begins. In the fermentation process, yeast is added to the wort that was cooked in the brew kettles. The wort is a sweet liquid which, with the addition of yeast, makes alcohol and gives off the byproduct carbon dioxide. This primary fermentation of our Saranac products takes approximately a week and results in a beer product with an alcohol content of about 4.5%. In this brewery, we also use two kinds of yeast. A lager yeast, which is the traditional German-style yeast that our founder brought with him from the old country. The lager yeast is used to make products which are cold-aged, products like Saranac Adirondack Amber and Saranac Lager. We are also one of the few breweries in the country that also uses a top fermenting ale yeast as well. A top fermenting ale yeast is used to produce a more fruity flavor and is used in such products as Saranac Pale Ale and Saranac Stout, which of course is used to make our famous Saranac Black and Tan. After fermentation, the beer goes to one of our 11 different aging cellars. Aging is the key to smoothness. It is here that our Saranac beers have the time to mellow and the flavor has time to fully mature. It is also in the aging process that our Saranac beer develops its carbonation. We use the same natural carbonating process that is used in making champagne. A small amount of newly fermenting beer is added to beer that has already completed fermentation. This process is called krausening and results in a smooth, more flavorful taste. From krausening, the beer goes to what's called Ruhe storage. Ruhe is a German word that means rest. It is also in Ruhe storage that we perform the process of dry hopping on some of our beers. Saranac Pilsner and Saranac Pale Ale are two products that are dry hopped. Dry hopping is a process where we add whole hops to the aging beer and allow the hop flavor to be steeped into the beer over time. It is this dry hopping process that gives Saranac Pilsner and Saranac Pale Ale their distinctive hop flavor and aroma without adding too much bitterness. Total aging time for our Saranac products is from 4 to 6 weeks, depending upon the particular style of beer. And then it's on to bottling. Now we want to show you our bottling operations. Unlike fermenting and aging, where we've taken our time, in bottling we want to do things as fast as we possibly can. We want to be sure that the product we put in that container meets the specifications we have for that product and the specifications that you as a consumer are looking for, bottle after bottle. Filling is critical to achieving this goal, for it is here that we want to be sure that we put the product into the bottle without disturbing it. This is done by inserting a filling tube into each bottle and filling the beer at very cold temperatures, 32 to 33 degrees, from the bottom up. This ensures that the beer is not disturbed when filling. Next, we cap the bottle immediately. You'll notice that each bottle is foaming over. This is intentional so that we get all of the air out of the bottle. Now the product is pasteurized so that each of our products has a shelf life that's almost indefinite. Next comes labeling, where each bottle has a label applied. This is done at over 600 bottles a minute. Now the bottles are taken to an automatic packing machine. Meanwhile, in another part of the building, we're setting up six-packs and erecting cartons, where these both join the bottles at the packer. Now the bottles are dropped into the cartons. You might ask yourself, now why aren't these bottles breaking when they drop? It's because just as they drop, the carton starts to fall too. It's sort of like when you're in an egg toss. You know how you have to catch an egg with your hand moving backwards so it doesn't break? Same idea. Now the cases go through an automatic sealing and closing machine. From here, they're conveyed to a palletizer, where they're stacked in rows, removed by a lift truck, put on a truck, and the beer is delivered to you, fresh as the day it was brewed. Now that we've finished our tour, I'd like to welcome you to the 1888 Tavern, where you can taste some of the fine beers we've been talking about. Or, if you happen to be under 21, maybe have a root beer. But first, some tips on tasting. Start with a beer clean glass, well rinsed without detergents or grease. Pour the beer down the center of the glass with a whack. You want to release the carbonation to appreciate the aroma and make the beer smoother. Right after you pour, bring the beer up to your nose so you can smell the aroma and discover the rich, complex flavor notes that have been created during brewing and fermentation. Next, check the color and clarity of the beer. And last but not least, taste the beer. Consider the mouthfeel. Is it rich and creamy or light and crisp? But remember, Don't overanalyze it. Beer is meant to be enjoyed. Thanks a lot for coming to our tour. Cheers.
Brewers of Utica Club Beer present...
Don't bother Schultz now. It's time for the Utica Club show.
Welcome from all of us here at the Matt Brewery, where Schultz and Dooley and their friends make their home. Schultz and Dooley were introduced in the late 50s, while my father, Walter Matt, was president of the brewery. They ran from 1959 through 1964. Their humorous capers won advertising awards in the United States and Europe, while winning the hearts of all of us. The voices of all the male mugs were provided by the talented and well-known comedian Jonathan Winters. Our wonderful Stein characters were put into motion by the famous puppeteer team of Bill and Cora Baird, creators of the charming puppet show in the movie The Sound of Music. And all of our music was written and produced by Mitch Lee, the composer of the Broadway hit musical Man of La Mancha. In total, Schultz and Dooley appeared in nearly 100 different episodes.
One beer, Chief. Well, that's terrible. That's not Utica Club.
Aha! Did you ask for Utica Club? No. You said one beer, Chief. If you want Utica Club, ask for Utica Club.
Okay, give me a Utica Club.
Sorry, we're all out. The issues facing us are clear. Whether the people want artificially carbonated beer or a beer like Utica Club that is naturally aged. A beer that is mellow and mature like a beautiful woman. Here, here! Where? Dooley, look at all this fan mail. Why, we're famous. Soon they'll want us in Hollywood. Just think of it, Dooley. Why, we could become great stars like Humphrey Bogart.
Okay, Louie, drop that artificially carbonated beer and give me a Utica Club.
Or like Bela Lugosi.
I don't drink beer myself, but if I did, it would be Utica Club. It's supernatural.
Or Clark Gable.
Scarlet baby, if you ever give me a green beer, I'll throw you down the stairs again.
I can see it now, Schultz. We'll play opposite the most beautiful leading ladies in movies. Ah, yes, Dooley. Our names will be up in lights on Broadway. We had just gotten word over the radio. Some mug was trapped down below. His supply of beer was almost exhausted. It was up to Schultz and me to find him. If there was still time, that is. Oh, by the way, those are natural bubbles, courtesy of Utica Club. Suddenly, Schultz saw something out of the corner of his eye. It was the diver, all right, only it wasn't a man. It was the Countess, in the grip of what seemed to be a giant clam. Schultz and I tried to separate the huge jaws, but it was slow going. Suddenly, as if we didn't have troubles enough, we saw what looked like an octopus. Its tentacles were groping for something. Then it found what it was looking for. Schultz and I looked at each other. We knew what that meant. When we got topside, there was a handsome reward for both of us. There was something for me, and there was something for Schultz. What's on tap on TV tonight, Schultz? If anything's on tap, Dooley, it better be Utica Club.
Welcome to Open Mug. Tonight our topic is how does Utica Club let nature make the beer?
They use only whole grains, no syrups.
I see. Miss LeBrew?
Naturally, it's a natural beer, 'cause nature builds the bubbles. No artificial carbonation in Utica Club.
Nothing artificial about you, Bubbles. Natural aging does the trick. Utica Club ages for months, not weeks. That's letting nature make the beer.
A little bit of rice makes you see right. Most honorable beer.
Aging.
Rice.
Natural bubbles.
Rice.
Whole grains.
Hold it. They shouldn't argue about it. They should just drink it. That's the best way to get to the bottom of Utica Club.
We still let nature make the beer because that's the way you like it.
At Utica Club, we still let nature make the beer because that's the way you like it.
Dooley, you've got lipstick all over your mug. Little bit jealous, aren't you? That laugh has got to go. It's contagious. Innkeeper, fill up this guy with Utica Club. Maybe it'll shape him up. This beer feels like champagne today. Sure, because it's got natural bubbles like champagne, not artificial bubbles. That's Utica Club beer, Dooley. Poor devil. I don't think he's ever been picked up by a lady. Schultz, listen, my boy. They're playing our song.
Oh, brew me no brew with artificial bubbles.
Those carbonated beers of today.
'Cause Utica Club will still take the trouble to age beer natural way. Utica Club, you see.
Here are some of our favorites, starting with the very first commercial that took place in a Hofbrauhaus.
The bar is closed, Dumkopf. Where am I? You there, Friar Tuck. Achtung, who's in charge here?
Schultz, my boy.
Dooley, where are we?
It appears to me that we've been carried off by a beer mug collector.
Brilliant deduction. What I mean is, are we still in Utica Club territory?
Will Schultz and Dooley ever again be able to drink Utica Club beer? The natural beer, without artificial bubbles.
No, wasn't it nice of the bartender to bring us here?
You're right, Dooley. There's nothing like a state fair.
Schultz, what is this ride? Sort of a carousel, isn't it?
It's not a carousel, Dumkopf. It's a duck ride or something. But it's fun. Oh, brew me no brew with artificial bubbles.
Those carbonated beers of today.
'Cause Utica Club will still take the trouble to age beer the natural way. Utica Club, you see.
It is sort of a duck ride.
Very amusing.
Schultz, you know where we are?
Sure, it's a firing squad.
Oh, to be home, enjoying some cold Utica Club beer.
Picnic, the next commercial, shows how some of the characters needed a little extra coaching. The kitten, in this next episode, spent a few days as Schultz's roommate so he would be accustomed to him. And the tuna fish oil applied to Schultz's chest during the picnic didn't hurt either.
Schultz, my boy, wake up now. We're here. Put me down gently, lady. It's been a long, hard drive. It's good to get back to nature.
Never mind, Dooley. It's good to get back to natural beer. Utica Club, without artificial bubbles. Prosit. Go away, kitty cat. Grouse. Stop that, please.
That's the silliest sight I've ever seen.
Those whiskers are driving me out of my... Oh, stop it. Oh, don't stop, pussycat. Doesn't that lady see what's happening here? Oh.
To maintain freshness, new characters were added over the years. The first was the Countess, who made her debut in the following commercials.
Zowie. 23 skidoo. Gloriowski. Here, let me see too, Dooley. Now I can see what you're getting excited about. Natural beer without artificial bubbles. Huh? Countess, would you like me to read you some poetry?
Darling, I would adore it.
Oh, brew me no brew with artificial bubbles. Those carbonated beers of today. Now she's got him reciting poetry. Boy, the next thing you know, we'll have tablecloths on the bar. For you took a club or still take the trouble to age beer the natural way. You took a club, you see.
Oh, beautiful, sweetheart.
Dooley, if you keep up this nonsense, you'll turn into a beatnik.
But he's not a very nice person, is he?
Jealous Countess. You'll have to forgive him. Countess, say something to me.
Dooley, darling.
That's enough. Don't say any more. Bartender, one beer and make it snappy. Utica Club.
As Schultz said, boy is she taking over. His sentiments were shared by many of our customers who had grown fond of Schultz and Dooley and felt that their friendship was being threatened by this newcomer. Their objections were so loud that we decided to run full-page newspaper ads with a picture of the Countess with a tear in her eye and the headline, "Should the Countess Go?" Though the response was mixed, the consensus called for her to stay. Stay she did, and with time, she won most of the remaining hard hearts.
All right, you mugs, you've been disturbing the peace down at the Utica Club.
Throw the book at him, Sudsy.
You've been telling how Utica Club brews from the harvest. Real grains and no syrups.
Yep. Select it themselves, they do.
And, you've been singing and dancing about natural bubbles.
That's me, honey. Wanna see a little?
You're on duty, Suds.
Yes, old man Stein, you've been harping on the extra aging that goes into Utica Club. Right, Sonny. For months. You see, you've been telling about the little bit of rice that's put in the beer to make it light.
That's right.
Not much of a case here, Schultz.
Case? Hit it, kids.
Drink it by the bottle, drink it by the can. It's best to buy it by the case.
I'm beginning to see your side, Schultz.
We still let nature make the beer because that's the way you like it.
Oh, no. Those mugs again, Dooley. Hush now, Schultz.
We're the light opera group of the Utica Club.
What'll they be next time?
We'll tell about our beer, all four of us mugs. We let nature make the beer indubitably. Cause that's the way you like it when you drink, you see.
Let's go, Dooley. Wait a minute, Schultz.
Only nature's own grains and hops, that's right.
And a little bit of rice to make it right.
And a little bit of rice to make it light.
That's right. But Dooley,
We take our time in aging, you see.
Dooley.
So bubbles come alive so naturally.
We let nature make the beer indubitably. Cause that's the way you like it when you drink, you see.
Everybody wants to get into the action.
We still let nature make the beer because that's the way you like it.
Dooley, who's torturing the cat? That's the fiddler, Schultz, tuning up for the square dance. You mean us squares have our own dance?
Now grab your partner and lend an ear. For Utica Club, we'll sing out clear, cause they still let nature make the beer. They never use syrups, the reason's plain. You can't beat the quality of choice whole grain.
Presto say do with grade to right, cause they still use rice to make it right.
To make it light.
Utica Club, you've heard it said, has natural bubbles for creamy head.
It's aged for months instead of weeks. I'd tell you more, but my backbone creaks.
All hands round and promenade the hall. Then it's Utica Club for one and all.
That's a square dance? Hey, Schultz, It'll never replace the vaults.
We still let nature make the beer because that's the way you like it.
Dooley, listen. Ole bela mayan saipu, Utica Club saipu loto. That mean Utica Club use rice for natural rightness. You see, Utica Club rest nature make the beer, cause that's the way you like it. Ah, Schultz, it has never been said quite like that before. Dooley, you shouldn't have. Happy birthday, Schultz.
Lively bubbles for you, natural bubbles for you. In Utica Club, natural bubbles for you.
That's happy birthday? That's all right, Schultz. Now we can have our cake and drink it, too.
The 1960s was a period in this country filled with new musical styles, and Schultz and Dooley kept right up with the times.
Ladies and gentlemen, here on our bar tonight, a really fabulous show, starring those great singing sensations direct from a 3-minute engagement at fabulous Miami Beach. Here they are, Dooley and the Ceramics. Come on, let's hear it for them. Oh, Bertie, give it malt, give it hops, it won't matter what you do. It's not natural carbonated, it's pumped with CO2. This is how we always seltzer those big bubbles of our seltzer. Give me Utica, Utica, natural age Utica, blood.
Too much. Get it, boys. Sing with it, Foxy.
This is how we always seltzer those big bubbles of our seltzer. Give me Utica, Utica, natural age Utica, blood. Watch it, Schultz. You're veering off to the right. Listen, Dooley, who's steering this rocket, you or me? Schultz, my boy, we're the first beer mugs to reach the moon. And they said it couldn't be done. Hi.
Hello.
We're the boys from Utica. Bartender, break out the Utica Club. That's natural beer, without artificial bubbles.
What's beer?
That's beer.
Oh, that stuff. We call that moon glow.
Look, Schultz, it's true. The moon is made of cheese. Not Swiss cheese, Dooley. Munster cheese. Here comes the noonday crowd. We'll have to finish this later. What's he doing, Dooley? He says he's got a machine that can make instant beer. Instant beer? Ha! He can't do that, Dooley. Can he? Essence of malt. It can't taste like beer that's made from whole grain. Can it? Aroma of hops. It can't smell like beer that's made from choice hops. Can it? Genuine artificial bubbles. It can't have a thick, creamy head like Utica Club. Can it? Instant aging. We'll give it 4 weeks. Oh, let's give it another 2 weeks. It can't be mellow like beer that's aged for months, can it? How is it, Dooley? Relax, Schultz. We've got nothing to worry about. I must not tell the customer what beer to drink 998. I must not tell the customer what beer to drink 999. I must not tell the customer what beer to drink 1,000. But I'm going to tell him anyway. Utica Club. When did you first discover you hated artificially carbonated beer? I don't want to talk about it. Try. Well, it was back in the old country, during the Great Beer Famine. My mother was forced to give me artificially carbonated beer. I could never forget it. So you hated your mother for that and ran away to this country, right? No, but because they told me the bar tops were paved with Utica Club. Aha! What you're suffering from is a carbonation complex, compounded by a loss of sufficient malt and hops. It'll take months to cure. Why, Schultz? Because You need plenty of Utica Club, when it takes months to make a natural beer like Utica Club, not just weeks. But above all, you must believe that you are loved and wanted and accepted. Do you believe that, Dooley? I want to believe it. Good. Schultz? What? Tell me you love me. For the love of Mike, Schultz, what are you doing? Dooley, I just finished making an experimental beer. I brewed it a shortcut way. I aged it for weeks instead of months, and I stuck in artificial bubbles. And now, I'm going to be the guinea pig. Don't do it, Schultz. I must, in the name of science, and in order to sell more Utica Club.
I can't look.
Dooley?
I can't talk Hungarian, but I'm going to bite you anyway.
Help! Bartender, quick! Bring an antidote, some garlic, a silver bullet, something. Ah, natural aged Utica Club. That's even better than a silver bullet. What happened? What happened to me? Whew. Saved from the effects of a ghastly experiment by good old Utica Club. Dooley, what are those two funny red marks on your neck? Congratulations, Dooley. We made it. We're brothers in Alpha Beta Upsilon. Alpha Beta Upsilon? What does that mean, Schultz? Who knows? It's Greek to me. What's this world coming to, Dooley? Everything's artificial. Artificially carbonated beer, artificially processed cheese, and now even artificial hair. Isn't it disgusting, Dooley? Oh, I don't know about that, Schultz. Dooley, this bird is a professional television spokesman. What do you need him for? I had a real Madison Avenue idea, Dooley. I'm going to let him deliver a Utica Club commercial for us. I don't know, Schultz. He's terrific. Listen. Okay, Bird, you're on. Hi, folks out there in TV land. Utica Club is the finest beer made. It's naturally aged. For months, not just weeks. There's no artificial carbonation. It's a full-bodied brew with a fine, creamy head of foam. Utica Club. Utica Club foam gives you the smoothest, slickest shave you ever had. Cut, you stupid bird. Get out of here. Finest wash in town. That's wrong, too, you dodo. No cavities. Get that bird out of here. What's called a Utica Club. Stop him, somebody. Come on up, clowns. The weather's fine.
Perhaps some of the charm of Schultz and Dooley could be found in their sometimes surprising, uncommercial messages, such as this commercial.
We just wanted to say hello. Goodbye.
This program and the Schultz and Dooley Players have been brought to you by the brewers of Utica Club Beer, the natural beer without artificial bubbles.